The nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Television Series.
Winner is...
During its first season in 2018, Roseanne quickly became the #1 show on TV, captivating audiences with the relatable, hilarious, and brutally honest performances of John Goodman and Roseanne Barr. Their portrayal of the working-class Connor household brought a refreshing authenticity to the screen, making it no surprise that the show successfully ran for 10 seasons during its original run. But what really happened to Roseanne, once celebrated as America's #1 TV show? And what shocking revelation does John Goodman have to share? The answers remain shrouded in mystery, but one thing is clear: Goodman and Barr share an extraordinary friendship that has endured for decades. John Goodman's rise to fame truly took off when he landed the role of Dan Connor, Roseanne's husband and father of 3, in ABC's Roseanne back in 1988. His outstanding performance earned him a Golden Globe for Best Actor in 1993 and 7 consecutive Emmy nominations. However, the overwhelming recognition came with its own set of challenges, as Goodman struggled with alcohol addiction amid his newfound fame. Recalling the experience, he admitted in an interview with Today, "At first it was exciting, then it got frightening when I lost my anonymity." Roseanne Barr, who had previously witnessed her ex-husband Tom Arnold's battle with addiction, took a direct and confrontational approach when addressing Goodman's drinking. Her concern for Goodman's well-being was genuine, but her past experiences with addiction influenced how she chose to handle the situation. Despite her tough love approach, Barr remained supportive of Goodman, acknowledging their deep off-screen friendship. Goodman, in turn, had been there for Barr during her own moments of struggle, particularly when she had been drinking heavily. While Barr admitted she hadn't completely given up alcohol, she appreciated Goodman's determination to overcome his addiction. Their strong bond has left fans curious about the true nature of their friendship outside of the show. Clearly, their connection goes beyond the characters they played, rooted in years of shared experiences, support, and loyalty. Roseanne Barr has long been known for her controversial social media presence, frequently stirring up outrage with her tweets before disappearing from the spotlight for a while. This unpredictability is part of what many find intriguing about her. Barr's outspoken nature and conservative views have garnered her a substantial following, including public praise from former President Donald Trump. However, her habit of making racially charged comments and promoting conspiracy theories has repeatedly drawn criticism. She has even shared links to videos promoting the debunked Pizzagate conspiracy theory and pushed a cover-up narrative regarding the death of former Democratic National Committee staff member Seth Rich, which authorities classified as a robbery gone wrong. Rich's parents eventually sued Fox News for causing emotional distress by repeatedly covering the baseless theory. Barr has also lashed out at her critics on Twitter, labeling them with derogatory terms and claiming to face threats from Clinton supporters. The true strain on Roseanne Barr and John Goodman's friendship emerged with the abrupt ending of Roseanne. The revival of the show launched in March 2018 and quickly became a television sensation, pulling in an impressive 18 million viewers and earning a 5.1 rating in the coveted 18 to a 49-year-old demographic. Factoring in DVR and streaming audiences, the viewership surpassed 27 million, setting a new benchmark for sitcoms and securing a swift renewal for another season. Despite the overwhelming success of the Roseanne revival, ABC was unwilling to overlook Barr's problematic behavior. The end of her time on the show came after a tweet comparing Valerie Jarrett, a black former advisor to Barack Obama, to an ape, paired with a joke about supposed ties to the Muslim Brotherhood. The backlash was immediate and severe, even drawing condemnation from her co-stars. Just a week after the season finale, ABC made the unprecedented decision to cancel the show despite its stellar ratings. Interestingly, the incident that ultimately led to Barr's downfall was preceded by yet another inflammatory tweet aimed at Chelsea Clinton. Barr referred to her as Chelsea Soros Clinton, amplifying a false rumor that Clinton was married to a nephew of George Soros, a prominent Democratic supporter. This inaccurate claim appeared to set the stage for her subsequent, far more damaging tweet about Valerie Jarrett. Following her inflammatory tweet targeting Chelsea Clinton, Clinton responded with a witty correction, clarifying the inaccurate claim. Barr replied with a contentious and seemingly sarcastic apology, which included a false accusation that George Soros betrayed fellow Jews during the Holocaust, leading to their deaths in concentration camps. It's essential to emphasize that this claim is entirely untrue. Shorosh, a Jewish individual, survived the Nazi regime during World War II and has since dedicated approximately $32 billion to promoting human rights worldwide. Nonetheless, conspiracy theories about him continue to circulate. During this exchange, a Twitter user chimed in, accusing Valerie Jarrett of concealing significant information during Obama's presidency. Although Barr later expressed regret for focusing on Jarrett's appearance, the damage had already been done. The racial undertones of her comment were evident to everyone, including advertisers negotiating fall ad deals for Roseanne following the revival's success. Barr continued to face heavy criticism for being racially insensitive and tone-deaf. Her character, Roseanne Connor, was portrayed as a working-class Trump supporter who often clashed with her liberal sister Jackie while struggling with prescription drug issues. In one particularly controversial episode, Roseanne jumped to a wild conclusion about her Muslim neighbors, fearing they were building a bomb and mockingly referring to their home as Talibanistan. The episode was widely condemned as Islamophobic, prompting Barr to attempt damage control on social media. She insisted that her intention was to highlight real issues and real people, promising viewers that future seasons would tackle even more controversial topics. Further intensifying the backlash, Barr's past actions during her 2012 presidential campaign with the Peace and Freedom Party resurfaced. She had written a letter to Congress accusing the Obama administration of orchestrating false flag terror attacks, including the Boston Marathon bombing, as a ploy to undermine the Second Amendment. Before ABC ultimately cancelled Roseanne, despite plans for an 11th season, some of Barr's colleagues voiced concerns about her erratic tweets. The situation became even more complicated when Barr blamed co-star Sarah Gilbert, who played her daughter Darlene, for the show's downfall. Barr claimed that a tweet from Gilbert labeling her comments as abhorrent was what truly destroyed the show and her life. In an interview with The Washington Post, Barr directly stated that Gilbert's public disapproval was the death blow to Roseanne. Sarah Gilbert made it clear that she found Roseanne Barr's remarks about Valerie Jarrett to be abhorrent, emphasizing that those views did not reflect the beliefs of the cast or crew. She also voiced her personal disappointment in Barr's actions, stating her disapproval in straightforward terms. In response, Barr lashed out, claiming Gilbert's tweet ruined the show and my life, and dramatically added, "She won't be satisfied until she devours my liver with a fine Chianti." According to reports from The Washington Post, both ABC executives and Barr's family had long been concerned about her provocative tweeting. Her son, Buck Thomas, even attempted to curb her online activity by resetting her Twitter password. John Goodman also shared his perspective on the controversy surrounding Barr's dismissal from the show. After playing Dan Connor alongside Barr's Roseanne Connor from 1988 to 1998, the two returned for a highly successful reboot of Roseanne. Goodman admitted he felt strongly about the situation but was uncertain whether his emotions were enough to make him consider working with Barr again. The reboot's success prompted the network to rebrand the show as The Connors after Barr's departure, explaining her exit through an off-screen death. For Goodman, it was a difficult period, both professionally and personally. During an interview at the Monte Carlo Television Festival, where Goodman served as the president of the fiction jury, he reflected on the entire ordeal. When asked if he regretted supporting Barr, Goodman stood by his decision, recalling how promotional interviews quickly turned into a barrage of attacks against Barr. He admitted it left him feeling awkward and conflicted, but he couldn't deny feeling bad for her and saddened by how everything unfolded. Goodman also acknowledged the enjoyable experience they shared working on the show, expressing that despite her polarizing personality, he still cares for Barr and recognizes her uniqueness. The cancellation of Roseanne hit ABC hard in terms of ad revenue, particularly in the short term. Nothing scheduled to air in that same time slot would match the impressive ratings Roseanne pulled in, even as its momentum began to wane. Despite the financial blow, Goodman believes ending Roseanne was the right decision in the long run. He hopes that both Roseanne and its spin-off, The Connors, will be remembered for the cultural impact they made and the entertainment they brought to audiences over the years. The love and laughter that Roseanne brought to viewers during tough times resonated deeply with audiences who could relate to the struggles of the Connor family. At the heart of it all was family, love, and humor. As John Goodman put it, if we didn't have humor, we'd be hopeless. Goodman's early struggles in his acting career played a significant role in shaping his friendship with Roseanne Barr. At 23, he borrowed $1,000 from his older brother and moved from St. Louis, Missouri, to New York City to chase his dream of becoming an actor. Without an agent or industry connections, Goodman rented a small apartment near Manhattan's theater district with his girlfriend and spent his days wandering the city in search of auditions. Money was incredibly tight, and there were times when he went days without a decent meal. However, he persevered for 2 years, supporting himself by working various bar jobs. Goodman's persistence eventually paid off when a commercial agency discovered him, providing him with a steady flow of income. In the 1980s, he became a household name through his role in the popular sitcom Roseanne, which ran for nearly a decade. Although financial stability and job opportunities were no longer a concern for him, Goodman's journey to fame came with its own set of challenges. He often found himself caught up in tabloid drama, and his rising fame made it nearly impossible to walk around New York without being recognized. This overwhelming shift in his life contributed significantly to his 30-year battle with alcoholism. While Roseanne continued to soar in ratings, Goodman and his family lived in California, where the constant attention from the paparazzi weighed heavily on him. He feared his newborn daughter would grow up in a chaotic environment filled with relentless media scrutiny. "I'd had it with show business publicity, tabloid stuff. I just had it," Goodman admitted. Seeking peace and a healthier lifestyle, he moved to Louisiana to be closer to his wife's family and distance himself from the toxic media frenzy. Looking back, Goodman considers it a wise decision, though his struggle with addiction persisted. Goodman has been sober since 2007, having fought his addiction for 3 decades. But sobriety has not been easy. He admitted there were countless nights when he found himself daydreaming about sipping whiskey. During their conversation, Goodman also reflected on his constant need for instant gratification, not just from drinking but also from his career. Low self-esteem and anxiety about remembering his lines only heightened his struggles. Today, Goodman manages to avoid most of his triggers by staying at home with his wife and family. However, when away for filming or theater performances, he still battles anxiety. While the tabloids continue to show interest in his life, Goodman remains focused on maintaining his sobriety and building a healthier, more fulfilling future. John Goodman's journey to better health has been remarkable. Once weighing nearly 400 pounds, Goodman has significantly transformed his physique, now appearing to weigh around 250 pounds at 6 feet tall. As someone in recovery from alcoholism, he channels his energy into regular exercise, whether it's hitting the elliptical or boxing. His passion for theater is partly fueled by the physical activity it provides, helping him maintain his fitness. However, years of excessive weight took a toll on his body, resulting in irreversible damage to his joints. After undergoing 2 knee replacements and quitting alcohol, it's evident Goodman has made his health a top priority. His openness about his struggle with alcoholism is one of his most admirable qualities. He acknowledges it as a part of who he is, but it's a part he is determined to overcome. Roseanne Barr has faced her own share of challenges. Growing up as the daughter of Jewish immigrants, her upbringing was heavily influenced by her deeply Orthodox Jewish maternal grandmother. Her childhood was marked by fear, conflicting messages, identity struggles, and traumatic stress within her family. Unfortunately, the abuse she endured wasn't only from external sources. Multiple accounts highlight mistreatment at the hands of her parents. Her father allegedly exhibited alarming and abusive behaviors toward her and her siblings, while her mother appeared passive or incapable of intervening, possibly due to her own trauma. In a 1991 interview with People magazine, Barr shared painful and intimate details of her childhood, claiming that her father's abusive behavior left a lasting emotional scar. She described the experiences as profoundly traumatic, leaving her troubled and emotionally scarred until she left home at 17. Barr's adolescence was equally turbulent. At 16, she attempted to end her life by stepping in front of a car, which resulted in a traumatic brain injury. Following this incident, she spent 9 months in a psychiatric hospital. During her recovery, Barr gave birth to a child she chose to place for adoption. The circumstances of her pregnancy, coinciding with her hospitalization and recovery, highlight the significant difficulties she faced during this tumultuous period of her life. Meanwhile, John Goodman continues to thrive in his acting career while living a sober life in New Orleans with his wife and their dogs. His schedule is packed with various acting projects, including roles in The Righteous Gemstones and The Conners, along with an appearance in Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, part of the Godzilla and Kong cinematic universe. Additionally, he's gearing up for his next role in Judy, directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu, where he'll star alongside Tom Cruise. Unfortunately, not everything has been smooth for Goodman. During the devastating wildfires that struck Los Angeles in early January 2025, his home in the Pacific Palisades was completely destroyed. Photos from January 8 show the ruins of his residence, surrounded by downed power lines and fallen trees. It remains unclear whether Goodman was in town when the evacuation order was issued, as he and his wife Beth split their time between Los Angeles and New Orleans. On a different note, Roseanne Barr seems ready to make a comeback. Hoping that 3 years is enough for the public to move past her previous controversies, she is preparing to release a stand-up special titled A Roseanne Comedy Special. Set to premiere on Fox News streaming service, Fox Nation, in early 2023, this project will mark her first stand-up special in 16 years. The special is being promoted as a comedic exploration of various topics, with nothing off-limits. With this new venture, Barr joins other notable personalities on the platform, including Kevin Costner, Sharon Osbourne, Piers Morgan, and Kelsey Grammer.